Windsor Castle today is a wonderful living example of the power and tradition of the royal family. For nearly 1,000 years, it has stood as a symbol of the monarchy's strength. It's the largest living, working castle in the world, and it's still a cared-for home of the royal family. But on one fateful day, all of that was threatened. To understand the impact of losing Windsor, you have to look briefly at its history. From the moment William the Conqueror laid down the plans for Windsor Castle, it was unique. Its central fortress was a complex set of perimeter defences. It was different to any other Norman castle, but then it had a special role. Windsor was part of a ring of 9 forts around London to protect the new capital. Overlooking the Thames, Windsor controlled the main access from the west. The river also meant that troops from Windsor could reinforce the capital very quickly, but more significantly, the castle provided an excellent base from which the king could go hunting in the former Saxon royal hunting forest. Undoubtedly, this vast area of greenness to the south of Windsor and the sport it provides has attracted monarchs to Windsor throughout the ages. Down through the centuries, successive monarchs have showed how much they have valued Windsor. For example, Henry III was responsible for enlarging the royal apartments in the Upper Ward. The Upper Ward is the higher and more defensible part of the castle where the sovereign resides. Elizabeth I sought refuge here when she learned of plots against her throne. And of course, for the current family, it is their home from home, the place where on a weekly basis they love to be. The castle has only been attacked 3 times in its history, but its size and location has made it virtually impregnable. The one feature which stands out above all others at Windsor Castle is the famous Round Tower. Initiated by Henry III, it could have been inspired by the legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It only served one king as a residence, Edward III, who was responsible for founding the oldest order of chivalry in the land, the Order of the Garter. More than 600 years later, the knights still gather at Windsor once a year in the shadow of this great tower. The age of chivalry was the era when the concept of knighthood took on a whole new meaning. Edward III was the epitome of this new medieval knight. Handsome, strong, brave and religious. To many, he seemed a reincarnation of the legendary hero King Arthur.